What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sean with Sarge 502 Jeep. Just pulled both the Jeeps out of the garage. Been trying to kind of clean out the garage a little bit. Weather's been nasty, stuff like that. So pulled both the Jeeps out of the garage. My JL, my son's JL rather, my Gladiator. Kind of made me decide to want to hop on here. Is I haven't really done any kind of like walk around or update videos, primarily on my son's JL. So kind of decided to hop on here, talk about that. We've done a little bit of stuff to get rid of that bone stock look. Still very mild build, but we've done wheels, tires, lift. I'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, just wanted to hop on and kind of give an update on that. Plus, since it's been like a couple years since I done even the walk around video on the Gladiator, it has changed a little bit, I guess. It's been a little bit of a slow process with that. No rush on either one of these, but since I done my walk around video, I have done a couple of things different to the Gladiator. A couple of videos I've done on those already, besides the an adventure video here or there, but don't really get a chance to do like a kind of an update or walk around video on the Jeeps that often. So figured today would be a good day to do that. So yeah, just pulled both of those out. So I'll walk over to the Gladiator. Like I said, since I did my kind of like overview or walk around video on that, a couple things have changed. Mainly I did a couple things to the suspension. As I mentioned in that video, I was going to be updating to the AEV Dualsport 2.5-inch lift, which I did. I had the AEV 2-inch spacer lift for the Gladiator on here before, which was great, but I did want to go with more of a full suspension, changing out the shocks and springs as opposed to the 2-inch spacer lift, which kind of uses the stock component. So finally pulled the trigger on that. Did that around I want to say, yeah, actually it was shortly after Jeep Invasion, because I got a discount code through Jeep Invasion, so I took advantage of that. So I want to say that was like around late August, early November, I think. And then I also went with the Apex AutoLynx quick disconnects. I bought these actually off someone brand new, so saved a little bit of money on those. Those are kind of pricey, but I've been wanting those for a while, and I didn't want to do those until I got my suspension where I wanted it, which I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I'll be changing it again. I mean, it's changed like, some way, shape, or form at least 3 times since it was stock. So I kind of put the Apex AutoLynx off for the longest because I didn't want to do that until I got my suspension where I wanted it, and I'm where I want it out as far as that goes now. So that's really it for suspension changes. And then I've done a couple things on the inside, which I've done a video on it, but I did go with the Armorlite floor replacement system here. Love this stuff. Makes cleanup easy. I mean, just spray it out without worrying about anything getting all wet and nasty and that moldy smell that you can kind of get on the carpet. So I mean, I ran the Mopar all-weather mats for the longest, and those are great. My son actually has those in his JL, but I wanted to kind of get the whole full floor replacement system, so went with that. It's been great so far. I think I took advantage of Black Friday sale on that, so same thing. Got a little bit of a discount on that. As you can see, they're kind of flashing there, but I went with the Dirt Road Cred RGBW floor lighting kit, whatever you want to call it. Kind of flashing the lights there as we go right now, but nothing major on that. It was just something I pulled the trigger on. Thought it was pretty cool. That's pretty much it for the inside. Oh, other than which I did a video on it, but this thing's amazing. It's the Wolfbox G900 Pro TriPro dash cam. So it's a front, back, and rear cam. They have the option for your third camera instead of it being the bumper option, which I went with. They have a cabin version, but I found better to take advantage of the bumper cam. for when I'm off-roading and get kind of in those low angles without necessarily having someone there directly to spot me and can see what I'm hitting. But show you those real quick. Front camera is on the back of the dash camera itself, but this is where I mounted the bumper camera. And of course you can adjust it on the screen. I mean, like I said, I've done a video on this, so I'm not gonna get really too in depth. I'm just showing the camera itself. So that's the third option. Again, I went with the bumper camera, but instead of that, they have the option where you can, you know, have an inside the cabin camera instead. But obviously besides that, that's the main camera on the back of the, I don't know if you can see it there, the glare, but on the back of the actual dash camera, or on the back of the mirror. And I went with the whole replacement arm there, as opposed to just strapping it on the original stock mirror, which you can do. But I went with the whole replacement arm and kind of ran the wires up in there, trying to keep it as clean as I can. But yeah. And then let's take a step back here to the rear camera, just to show you where I went with that. A lot of guys like the rear cameras that have like rack systems. Of course, I don't. So I can actually still see out the back and use that camera as a regular, you know, rear camera. But I just mounted mine down here above the license plate. So it's right there. You can kind of see that. And again, all these are adjustable, but again, I did a whole video on that, so I'm not really gonna go over that in depth. This is mainly kind of update everybody on my son, Caleb's Sahara here. So as I mentioned, we went with the wheels, tires, and lift, pretty much just kind of keep it basic. So he went with the AEV spacer lift, which is basically the same lift that I had on the Gladiator, but of course it's a different version for the JL. But kind of get up in there, you can see the AEV puck there. So it uses all the stock components, so stock shocks, still stock springs, but you know, lifts it up higher. Did come with different end links and other little small components, but overall it's just a general spacer lift, front and back, 2 inches. So he actually did that first while still running the stock wheel, and did give it a little bit of a wheel gap, especially considering he had stock wheels and tires on it. I know the Sahara, like my Overland, came with 18-inch wheels, so it gave it a little bit of a gap. Looks nice. He don't need anything more than that. It's really nothing more that he needed or wanted. But as you can see, we did go with the 35-inch Baja Boss Mickey Thompson ATs. It's a 35 by 12.5 by 17. And he's on a 17-inch Method 305 double black wheel. He really liked these wheels. He was considering doing like I did. So I've talked about this before, but with mine, I went with I stayed with an 18. So the Sahara and Overland, and I know now they have the new Sahara JTs rather, but that model, they kind of generally come with 18-inch wheels from the factory. So I ended up keeping my stock wheel for a while because I still believe to this day the Overland, the original stock Overland wheel, is the best looking stock wheel on any Jeep. So I wasn't in a hurry to get rid of those before I got these black Rhinos. But point being is, I got my tires, the Coopers here, the 35s. I got those first, ran them on my stock wheel, and then based my black Rhinos here off of that same size. So I ended up staying with an 18, and he was going to end up doing that with his, since his Sahara came with an 18 as well. But he didn't really find any wheels that he liked in an 18, and the ones that he did like were primarily, obviously you have a lot more options in a 17-inch wheel. So he decided to kind of stay the course and just wait a little longer. We ended up pulling the trigger on the tires for a Christmas present for him. So and then got the rims like shortly after on his birthday, which was only like a month and a half later. So he ended up kind of just staying the course and getting them mounted both at the same time versus me doing it, you know, one by one. So with that being said, he ended up going with a 17-inch wheel versus my 18. But nonetheless, he likes the look of it. It's the perfect wheel to, you know, tire ratio, I guess, but nothing crazy on either one of these. So yeah, wheels, tires, lift on that. We did video on this before, but he has the Morimoto XB LED DRLs. So, and this kind of like got that black tinted because we're both going with the whole kind of blackout look, as you can see. Only silver he has left on this is obviously this Sahara style grill, but he actually has a grill like mine, the 24 plus style coming. That's on order right now as we speak. Actually should be here about next week. I think he got an update on that the other day. So unlike me, I went with distinction applied through that. He went with Yodo Overland, so we'll see how that does. Pretty much the same Mopar style grill, just paint color match. So after he installs that, that's going to be pretty much all the silver gone on his. We did a video on these as well, the Diode Dynamic Elite Series headlights. These are the Elite, not the Elite Max. There is a difference in those, but you know, he likes those. I'm a Diode Dynamic ambassador anyway, so we were able to get a you know, good deal on those, and yeah, he really likes them. So other than that, he's done, I'm not really a fan, I'll show you, but he went with the Oracle dash lighting kit. You can see there he has it blue right now. You can change the colors obviously on whatever you want. Comes with remote and all that. I'm not really crazy about it, but whatever. That's him. And then actually it just reminded me as I started this up, you can kind of hear the exhaust. It's nothing too loud, but it definitely has a better tone. And we'll kind of step back there and take a look at it. It's an axle back exhaust, so it's just from the axle, but that's through AFE power. It has that black tip, which is removable if you want extra clearance, but even with it on, it gives a lot more clearance and departure angle than the stock mufflers that come on these JLs. So he wanted that, decided to go with that. We actually just installed that like a couple weeks ago. He kind of researched that on his own, and that was kind of his call. I don't know if I'd ever go that route, but whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it on his. I mean, it's real simple build. You know, he's 17, so he don't need a whole lot going on. Oh yeah, we went with the this was another Christmas present, the Mopar spare tire reinforcement for the tailgate. You know, adding heavier size or heavier in weight wheel and tire package to it. We didn't want that extra strain on the tailgate, so went with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So like I said, just wanted to hop on, kind of give an update on his JL, because it's not on the channel a whole lot. It's been pretty stock, still is, but turn this off. But yeah, kind of give like a little update on, mainly on his. I know I kind of every now and then I'll do an you know, adventure style video off-roading when I try to get off-road, which I'd like to more than I do, but thinking about maybe planning another trip to Turkey Bay. My son's never been. I went, and even when I went was early on. I mean, I didn't even have half the stuff I have done to my Jeep now that I had then, so it was real basic, so I might be able to get out and kind of do a little bit more when I'm getting off-roading. But I'm planning a trip maybe to there, kind of, we'll gauge that. If so, that'll probably be next coming, and then I have a couple other places I've been eyeballing and maybe thinking about going. But again, I try to do a little bit of a mix, and you know, between hopping on, doing kind of like a adventure style video, getting on, just doing kind of an update overview on anything that we've added to the Jeeps. But don't really do enough like walk around style stuff, so I wanted to really do that mainly on his, because we do have his kind of upgraded from that original bone stock look. As I said, we're both kind of got that blackout look going, but he also, we blacked out his emblems there for the Sahara, with the Sahara and then Overland style, or new Sahara if you want to call it, for the JTs, since they brought that kind of trim back. It usually comes with all the silver accents, so we've kind of gotten away from that on both of these. As I mentioned, the only thing left on his is this grill, but we'll have that next week. That'll be taken care of with his new grill. So yeah, that's just kind of a real quick walk around on both of these, primarily the JL Sahara here. So yeah, till next time, you guys take care. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, questions you want to ask on anything we've kind of done with either one of these, by all means, just hop down in the comments. I'm really pretty good about getting back on answering any questions or, you know, concerns you may have, considering you may want to do anything that we've done to either one of these. But yeah, I try to be real responsive with those. So yeah, you guys take care. Till next time. Peace.